I'm Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times. Wednesday, January 21st, news in Arkansas. Fairly significant news this morning out of the Arkansas legislature. A Senate committee endorsed Governor Asa Hutchinson's income tax cut bill. Will cut $100 million from middle-income taxpayers and lower income tax rates. But what a wrinkle was added this morning. An amendment was added to the bill, a friendly amendment. The administration supports it. They would repeal the 2013 cut in the capital gains tax. Capital gains tax cuts are not something nearly sacrosanct with Republicans normally. Asa Hutchinson is going to save that money, about $21 million a year, at least for this year, and put it off for a while in the interest of putting more money in the pockets of middle-income taxpayers. Very interesting development. I wrote about the State of the Union address this morning on our blog fairly briefly. I thought it was somewhat depressing whether you liked or didn't like the president's speech. The president proposed tax cuts for the middle income, encouragement to go to college, talked about how much the economy has improved, how jobs are improving, how gas prices have dropped, the markets are up. Every single member of the Arkansas congressional delegation, all the Republicans, basically said, we still don't like you, still think things are terrible. The pessimism doesn't hold much hope for progress in the next session of Congress. In charitable news today, the Tyson family contributed $500,000 to the University of Arkansas System's eVersity program. And in another facet of the university at Fayetteville, Jerry Jones, the Cowboys owner, and his wife Jean announced that they've upped their gift to Razorback athletic efforts to $10.6 million in land and cash. This will include a Wild Hogs statuary that will memorialize the '64 national championship team, on which, by the way, Jerry Jones once played. Here's more news from a Republican. Nate Bell, the Republican representative from Mena, proposes to end recognizing Robert E. Lee on the third Monday in January in a holiday done concurrently with Martin Luther King. An end to a Lee holiday, that's sure to stir up some sentiment somewhere, although we're one of only 3 states that still have such a dual holiday. It's time for it to end. I agree with Nate Bell for once on this one. You know, Jermaine Taylor, the prize fighter I mentioned daily, it seems, is in trouble. He was going to have a bond revocation hearing today. He's twice now been charged with gun crimes. The Democrat Gazette reported this morning, and I have a list that shows it as well. Jermaine Taylor is a holder of a concealed carry permit. I said it was a bad idea when the legislature made the list of these permit holders secret, because there's now no way for accountability, no way for people to say, hey, this guy's got a concealed carry permit, and maybe after a series of 3 violent incidents, maybe the cops ought to take it away from him, which they are able to do. As of last night, Jermaine Taylor, though facing multiple felony charges, still had a concealed carry permit. Feel safer? I don't. The Little Rock School Board last night voted 6-1 behind a plan to do something about 6 academically distressed schools. Whether it'll save them with the State Board of Education remains to be seen. I write about it this morning on the blog, saying that the one holdout on this, school board member Leslie Fiskin, who happens to represent my district, doesn't think the plan can work, apparently wants the state to take over the school district. If she doesn't want to be part of the solution, why does she stay on the school board? She ought to resign. Finally, another amazing pronouncement from Mike Huckabee. He was on Hugh Hewitt, the right-wing radio talk show host, and said, you know, even if the U.S. Supreme Court says that same-sex marriage bans are illegal, states don't have to follow it. Really, Mike Huckabee said courts can't enforce the law. This is a man who lived in Little Rock where troops, in fact, enforced the law for courts just as they ordered, despite what the governor and the legislature might have wanted to do. That's the kind of politicking we're going to be seeing from Mike Huckabee. It's going to be a long election year in 2016. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.